All right, this video is going to walk you through function notation, but more importantly, how to evaluate absolute values. For starters, these first three questions that you see here are all numbers in parentheses, so those are your inputs. When you put -4 in for x, we're going to try to figure out what comes out for y. Well, when we try to evaluate an absolute value of some number, we have to ask ourselves, how far is that number to 0? That's the question we're asking. What is the distance of 10 to 0? Well, 10 has a distance of 10 units to 0. And if I were to ask you instead, if a -10 was going in the bars instead, how far is -10 to 0? You'd also say it has a distance of 10. But in other words, if you want to even think more simple than that, it basically just takes the value that you put in these bars here and makes it positive as the answer that comes out of it. So when I try to figure out this problem, then if -4 goes into the absolute value bars here, then it would be 3 times the absolute value of -4, which is +4, which creates then 12, a positive 12. And positive 12 minus 12 gives you 0. So I would put 0 for this blank right here. The next thing is, if I put a 9 in there, which is positive 9 has a distance of 9 to 0 also, so that means 3 times 9 is 27. 27 minus 12 gives you 15. So then I would put a 15 in this blank right here. Next, if I were to ask the question, what is it going to be when I put 0 in for x? Well, there is only one number, or the distance you get for 0 is just 0. 0 has a distance of 0 to 0. So 3 times 0 gives you 0, and then 0 minus 12 is -12. So the answer to this last one is just -12. Hopefully not too difficult. But the more challenging part of this question is not that part, it's going to be this next part. We're trying to figure out, when you put, when the output is 24, what was the original input? That means then, if I say f of x equals 24, and f of x also equals this, then I can then take those two things and use equal values. If I use equal values, then I have 24 equals 3x, 3 times the absolute value of x minus 12. My goal then is just to solve this for x. That means I'm going to cancel the 12 by adding 12 to both sides, get rid of the 3 by dividing by 3, and then you're finally down to the part where the absolute value the absolute value of x equals 12. Again, the question you're asking is, what number or numbers have a distance of 12 to 0 on the number line? Then, if you look at the number line, there's a number here that has a distance of 12, and this number over here that has a distance of 12. So realize, whenever you see this question like this, there's going to be two numbers always that have a distance of whatever is over here to 0, unless the answer is actually 0. So the answer is then going to be positive 12 and negative 12 for my answer. So then, just to give you a visual, I would have a negative 12 here and a positive 12 here. These are the inputs you'd have to put in to get a distance of 12 to come out. So I have to have two answers, 12 and negative 12. That's basically how it works. Get it down to the final part right here, and then realize that there are going to be two numbers that have a distance of 12. Good luck, and hopefully this video helps.